Hello, I'm Paul Walker from the GH Spoilers YouTube channel. Today is a stormy Tuesday in New York, and we have breaking news. We are diving into the absolute madness of Jack Brennan's alleged death, midnight burial in Willow's garden, and Drew Kane witnessing the whole cover-up. Welcome back to the channel. Let's get right into this mess. Okay, I literally cannot believe this. Can we please process this mess together? Might delete this later. But I seriously can't stay silent about this anymore. Please tell me I'm not the only one losing my mind over this. Look, I am sitting here in the dark, absolutely severely sleep deprived, hitting record at 3 a.m. because this grueling, decade-long General Hospital journey has finally pushed me over the edge. I am ditching the script. I am breaking all the filters. Honestly, basically, I am just going to dump my unedited psychic damage right onto your screens because I need you guys to witness my existential collapse. Unbelievable, guys. What's going on here? We went from a simple accidental stabbing to a full-blown Edgar Allan Poe nightmare in the span of a single heartbeat. I mean, I have been watching this show through every single ridiculous era through the mob wars, the weather machines, the memory mapping, but this is a completely different level of psychological warfare being waged on the audience. Listen, we all saw Nina Reeves panic and jab Jack Brennan with a syringe meant for Drew Kane. We knew it was a massive mistake. We knew the WSB field office boss was going to be out cold. But suddenly, the vibe redlines, the narrative shifts, and we are looking at a literal catastrophe. The dose was too strong. It wasn't just a paralytic anymore. It was a lethal injection. Jack Brennan's heart literally stops right there on the floor of Willow Tate's living room. Basically, Nina just went from reluctant accomplice to accidental murder in the blink of an eye. And honestly, the way the writers just dropped this on us. Total game changers. I am low-key obsessed with how fast this went off the rails, but also wait, why are we like this? Why do we accept this level of trauma as our daily entertainment? 1 minute, they are tussling over a gun, like it is a standard Tuesday in Port Charles, and the next minute, there is a dead federal agent on the Persian rug. Look, the second Brennan's pulse flatlines, the energy in that room completely shifts into something so dark and sinister I actually had to pause my screen. Valentine Cassadine, who is single-handedly testing my sanity right now, doesn't even blink. He doesn't scream. He doesn't cry. Suddenly, he's running the darkest math possible in that terrifying, brilliant Cassadine brain of his. He looks at Nina, who is hyperventilating, grabbing her hair, and spiraling into a total breakdown, and he decides right then and there, no cops. No WSB, no ambulances. Basically, he convinces her that if they call this and Charlotte's life is ruined, Willow's future is destroyed, and they are all going to federal prison for the rest of their natural lives. Honestly, the manipulation is a major flex, but it is also so incredibly toxic. I can barely stand it. Valentine weaponizes Nina's love for her daughter and granddaughter to make her complicit in the ultimate crime. Listen to me, they decide to dispose of the body. Yes, you heard me correctly. They are going to take the body of a high-ranking WSB field office boss and just get rid of it. But where do they go? Do they take him to the Pine Barrens? Do they toss him in the harbor where half of Port Charles's problems end up? Do they use the secret tunnels under Windermere No Suddenly? They decide the most logical place to bury a federal agent is in Willow's backyard. Basically, they are turning a suburban family garden into a crime scene graveyard. I am screaming. I am literally screaming at my monitor who thinks like this, who looks at a lovely little flower bed and thinks, ah yes, the perfect place to hide a 200-pound government official. It is absolute lunacy. And I am here for it, but I am also deeply, deeply disturbed. Look, picture this scene. Because the cinematography was actually insane, it is the dead of night. The shadows are long, the moonlight is piercing through the clouds. Valentine and Nina are out there in the dirt digging a grave for Jack Brennan. Nina is sobbing uncontrollably. Her hands covered in mud, her expensive designer clothes completely ruined. Completely losing her grip on reality. Valentine is just coldly, methodically shoveling dirt, erasing every single trace of the crime with the chilling efficiency of a man who has absolutely done this before. Honestly, the juxtaposition of Nina's absolute hysteria and Valentine's chilling, robotic efficiency is one of the most terrifying things I have ever seen on this show. Basically, it is a masterclass in psychological horror. I am watching this legacy character, this woman who just wanted to be a mother, literally burying a corpse in her daughter's yard. And because here's the part that literally makes my brain short circuit into a million pieces. Listen, Drew Kane is in the house. We thought he was paralyzed. We thought he was just rotting in that back bedroom, completely out of it, trapped in his own body. But suddenly, the paralytic wears off because Nina missed his dose during the scuffle. He is fully awake. His muscles are firing. He drags himself out of that wheelchair. He crawls to the window, and he sees them. He sees the shadows in the yard. He sees the frantic digging. He sees the limp body being rolled into the earth. Honestly, Drew just became the most dangerous man in Port Charles, and nobody even knows he can move his fingers yet. Look, we have to remember who Drew Kane is. He is not just some guy. He is a former Navy SEAL. He is a journalist. His entire career, his entire existence is built on observing, recording, surviving, and exposing the truth. Basically, he is watching Nina and Valentine bury a man, and his mind is just cataloging every single detail. The depth of the hole, the exact time on the clock, the tools they are using. He isn't screaming for help. He isn't banging on the glass to stop them. He is just watching in absolute predatory silence. The sheer discipline it takes to just stand there and watch your ex-lover bury a body in your other ex-lover's yard. Total game changers. I am low-key obsessed with this dark, calculating, almost sociopathic version of Drew that is emerging from this trauma. Honestly, what if Drew just decides to start a gardening vlog? Like, he just goes out there the next day, fully recovered, and starts planting petunias right over Brennan's face. Winking at the camera while Willow holds the watering can. Whoa! I've really gone off chasing butterflies into another dimension. Bringing the signal back, let's stick to the script. The reality is that Drew is holding a nuclear launch code, and he is just waiting for the exact right moment to press the button. He knows that if he reveals himself now, Valentine might just dig a second hole. So he waits. He plans. He lets the Cassadine arrogance blind them to the monster, waking up in the guest room. Listen, while Drew is plotting his absolute masterclass in revenge, Nina is completely and utterly falling apart at the seams. Basically, the guilt of taking a life is eating her alive from the inside out. She starts having these intense, terrifying hallucinations. She sees Brennan's face in the shadows of the Metro Court. She hears his voice echoing in the empty rooms of her apartment. Suddenly, every single bump in the night is the ghost of the man she killed. Honestly, Cynthia Wachos is acting her absolute heart out, carrying this entire emotional journey on her shoulders. But watching Nina spiral like this is just devastating. She is cracking under the weight of Valentine's dark world, and it is only a matter of time before she snaps completely and confesses to a barista. Look, while Nina is losing her mind and seeing dead WSB agents in her coffee cup, Valentine is just playing four-dimensional chess. He is coldly and systematically wiping down every surface in Willow's living room, destroying the syringe, sanitizing the timeline, and building an ironclad alibi. Basically, he thinks he has this completely under control. He thinks he has outsmarted the universe. But honestly, how arrogant do you have to be to think you can just bury a WSB boss in a flower bed and walk away without consequence? Valentine is a legend, yes, but he is also severely underestimating the sheer chaos that is about to descend upon him. He thinks he buried a problem, but he actually planted a bomb. Suddenly, the walls start closing in faster than anyone anticipated. Enter Ross Cullum. Listen, Cullum is Brennan's new boss at the WSB, and he is not some rookie beat cop. He is a highly trained, lethal investigator. He notices Brennan is missing almost immediately. He tracks his last known movements. He starts sniffing around Port Charles, asking incredibly uncomfortable questions. Basically, we have a federal predator knocking on doors, shaking down informants, and getting dangerously, terrifyingly close to Willow's perfectly manicured, freshly dug garden. I am sweeting. The tension is absolutely terminal velocity right now. Every time Cullum is on screen, I feel like I am going to have a panic attack. And wait, why are we like this? Why does Willow suddenly decide she wants to be the next Martha Stewart of landscaping? Look, Willow starts noticing the freshly turned dirt in her yard. She is getting curious. She is looking at the soil, wondering why it is disturbed. Basically, she is standing right on top of a federal agent's corpse, wondering why her hydrangeas look a little lopsided. Honestly, the dramatic irony is so thick, you could cut it with a chainsaw. If Willow grabs a trowel and starts digging up that yard to plant some bulbs, the entire Cassadine Corinthos Quartermain universe is going to implode in a spectacular shower of dirt and scandal. Look, we need to talk about the massive, unignorable elephant in the room regarding the real world. McKenna, the absolute legend who plays Jack Brennan, hasn't confirmed anything. No exit interviews in Soap Opera Digest. No tearful goodbye posts on social media. No thank you tweets to the fans. Basically, the actor is completely silent, and the network is refusing to comment. So I have to ask the question that is keeping me awake at 3 a.m. Is Brennan actually dead? Listen, the syringe was filled with a massive dose of a paralytic meant for Drew. What if the dose didn't kill him? What if it just slowed his heart rate down so much that he only appeared dead to Valentin's hasty pulse check? What if they buried him alive? Honestly, if Brennan wakes up under 6 feet of Willow's premium topsoil, I am going to lose my absolute mind. Suddenly, this isn't just a murder cover-up. It is a full-blown survival horror story. Basically, Brennan could be down there, completely paralyzed but fully conscious, feeling the dirt crush his chest, waiting for the drug to wear off so he can claw his way out of the earth like a WSB zombie fueled entirely by vengeance. Total game changers. I am low-key obsessed with the idea of a dirt-covered, unhinged Brennan showing up at the Metro Court pool, grabbing a martini, and staring Valentin dead in the eyes. Wait, no, that's impossible. He has to be dead. You can't survive under dirt without oxygen for that long. But honestly, this is General Hospital. People come back from the dead more often than I change my socks. Jason fell into freezing water with a gunshot wound and lived. Listen, I am so conflicted right now. Part of me wants the tragic, dark reality of Nina being a murderer to stick, because the drama is delicious. But the other part of me desperately needs Brennan to survive, because McKenna is a major flex for this cast. Basically, my brain is just a chaotic feedback loop of transcendent hype and absolute narrative betrayal right now, and I cannot process it. Look, let's bring it back to the wild card in the window, Drew Kane. Drew is the ticking time bomb sitting right in the middle of this mess. He knows everything. He saw the burial, he knows Cullum is looking, he sees Willow getting curious about the garden. Basically, Drew gets to play God right now. He can destroy Nina and Valentin with a single phone call to the WSB. But honestly, what if he uses this for leverage? What if he blackmails Valentin for control of ELQ? What if he uses this to manipulate Nina? Suddenly, Drew isn't just a paralyzed victim. He is the apex predator of Port Charles, pulling the strings from the shadows. Listen to me, this entire storyline is a massive powder keg sitting right next to a raging bonfire. Nina is hallucinating and losing her grip on reality. Valentin is lying through his teeth to federal agents. Willow is one gardening project away from unearthing a corpse. Cullum is hunting for blood, and Drew is watching every single second of it with a cold, calculating stare. Basically, we are witnessing the final, agonizing moments before a lore-shattering climax that will change the show forever. Honestly, I don't know how any of them walk away from this without handcuffs or body bags. I just know that I am going to be sitting here at 3 a.m., completely sleep-deprived, zero filter, waiting for the explosion. Please tell me you guys are seeing this too. Please tell me I am not crazy. We are in the endgame now, and it is going to be absolutely, undeniably spectacular.